Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. My sound is doing just fine, and we are ready to rumble. And we are ready to go. All right. Um, so we're simply gonna be doing a top-down analysis. Top-down analysis of this instrument. We're gonna start from the monthly time frame down to the 5-minute time frame, and if we have to go to the 1 minute, that's okay. And as you can see, we have like a clean chart. So we're here weekly and the monthly time frame. And before we go on, this is Trader Mavera, and welcome to my channel. So it's just gonna be a short analysis, as I also kind of test this test this live thing. This is my first time I'm doing a live stream, so I'm also kind of trying to see how it goes and all that stuff as we try out some new things as we keep on advancing on this journey. So let's start. So the first thing we do is you can kind of see all this is just this is too much that we don't really need, right? Since we are in the monthly, the most important would be the current month that we are in. And then in this case, seeing that we've left this month already and the previous month, then we should pay attention to this month right here. So what I'll do is, that's where I'll begin. I'll take this horizontal array right here, and I will put a line down there. So let's put this magnet icon up here, so we can have an easy time. It just snaps to the point that you want. Let's turn this back to black, and then we start by naming it, and I'll call it an old monthly low, right? So if I just put old ML, I just know that means the old monthly low, right? And you can also do this if you want. You can do that. You can call that a previous monthly low, right? So we can see that this month we ran through last month's low, and if we want to also, we can also include that monthly low. These are all going to be like levels which are important, so we can also do like old monthly low. The reason why is I don't want to start saying 1 2 3, 3 previous months low. I mean, I can do that, but it seems to be so much, right? And then I can also come and say like this is the previous month high, right? So when I'm in whatever time frame, let's say if I go down to a 5-minute time frame, then I can know that those levels are right there. So old monthly, and then we can see, and already you can start seeing the kind of reaction that is happening around those zones, right? And you can see the previous monthly low. Look at that. See, so that is what we kind of want to have when you go to a lower time frame. So let's go back to a monthly time frame, right? And I think that's it. One more level that we can have is, you see this imbalance right here. I like to also have those on my charts. So what I like to do with those is, instead of putting those lines, I'll just do like a rectangle or whatever that is, a box. And then higher time frame boxes are going to be like that color. And then we can so that's an imbalance. So to show where it's coming from, I'm going to do an M and then an imbalance, right? Monthly imbalance. So it doesn't have to be capital M, just to keep it like that. And since we snapped we put this thing right here, makes it easy for this level for those drawings to kind of snap on the exact areas that we want. I will keep on going up. We can see maybe we overdid it. It's actually perfect, right? And then we don't want to go so far, because when we go to a lower time frame, they're gonna be so far away. Yeah, so what else do we do? So this is the kind of the zone that I'm looking into, right? Because this is the range that we are in. This is the high of this. If I would say like the monthly range that we are looking into right now will be this high and this low right here, right? But this is a little bit too far-fetched. We'll have to get through this one to in order to get through this one. And because it's in the monthly, that might take a few weeks, or I don't know, it might take a few days. So we don't have to worry about that. And that is it for now. We don't have to worry about the previous this month high and low, in my opinion. But we do have the previous month high and the previous month low. So for example, if we are bullish tomorrow, then we know we might get some resistance on that previous old month low right there. And the next spot, if we continue being bullish, is this previous month low right there. That will be some good targets, but this is just on a monthly level. The next thing we can do is this down candle here where the market went up. We can also put it right there and then put a monthly order block. But on the monthly, I just like to keep it simple, just like that, because now we are now gonna be going down to a weekly time frame. So for me, this is what's the word? Not confident, but I'm content with what I have on the monthly time frame. So now let's go to the weekly time frame and let's see. So what happens is you can adjust those whatever, because they're all gonna be in that month. So as you can see, it's still the same, right? And if we go down to a daily, we're still gonna have to adjust them, and they're still gonna fit in nicely. We go to a monthly, still they're not affected in any way. Mic check, you guys can hear me? Okay. So here is that monthly imbalance. And if we keep on moving forward and we kind of see something else, that overlaps this monthly whatever on a lower time frame, then we can go ahead and remove it. And so that's it. So now when we get here, the next thing I do is I want to see how we traded through the previous week low. So I'd like to write that. And so I'm gonna have that level right there, and then I'll have it as a previous week low. And then what I do is I change that format, and I'll either do it like that, or if I need to see it clearly, then I do it like this. But at this point, it's gonna be so much stuff, so I can just do it like that, and I'll still see it. Maybe add some pixels to it, but then it becomes a nuisance. So I'll just let it be like that, and then I can also denote that as the previous week high, previous week high, right? And what else is of importance here? So we do have this weekly gap right here, which the market price might want to come back to, right? Now, something else I'm also noting is you can see this down candle where the market went up. That is something that we can denote, and we can just have it as just a line, but I think it's so we can do it like this, or we can also do it like as this line as well. But this is sort of so these other levels can be there for the whole of this month, right? But moving forward, these levels can be temporal, right? Can be, of importance for the next few days. So we can call that a weekly bullish order block. Or if you want, you can call it what is that? Is that the demand or supply? I think it's demand, whatever you want to call it, right? So I think demand guys, maybe they do take the whole candle. I don't know. or you just want to take the booty, whatever it is, that works for you. For me, I'll just do it as a weekly order block, right? And I can give it a different. So because this is an what do we do? Let's make this a little bit more dramatic, right? Let's put it on a two pixel right there, and then I'm gonna have this just as a weekly order blocks, just because it came to that last down candle to that open price, and maybe just went in a little bit, and then we're seeing some form of we're seeing a rejection to the upside, right? And we can also have this denoted right there, and we can just call that like a weekly fair value gap. And just a weekly fair value gap right there is just a gap, or you can name it whatever you want, but it's an imbalance where it's not balanced, right? So for it to be balanced, price has to come down and then trade up and maybe leave, or come down and keep on going down further. So this is an inefficiency that price might want to come back to. I hope I'm not butchering those names. So let's adjust this monthly imbalance a little bit. So this becomes even a more a more area that of importance to me, right? Because we do have this monthly imbalance paired with this weekly inefficiency, which I don't know if it's if it's something, but it's something good to look out for. What else is of importance here? So just to keep it clean, we can just leave it like that. I think that was important to note. And then the other area was, we also see this imbalance, but I'm not gonna, have that there because market traded up and through it, not really, a week through it. You can see this one came to, that could be the equilibrium, right? Equilibrium of it. Let me see. Did it come to a half? Yes, it did. Oh my God. Look at the body. Look at where the body stops. Let me just, where is this thing? This is some juju. Excuse me. Okay, the body just fell short a little bit to get to that half point. And we can see this bullish candle did try to go up, but, you know, seems to be like, the market was already priced to go lower. So that fair value gap was well respected and it sent price down. So will it come back to retest this area? Maybe come to go down further? I don't know, but there's gonna be a little bit of a fight when we get here. That is my opinion, right? If we go up, then this is quite an area. It's gonna be quite an area of resistance, in my opinion. So I'm gonna just leave it like that on the weekly. Most importantly, we have the previous week low that we just ran through this week. We're likely to come back and retest that weekly low, which is, and the weekly fair value gap is just right there. I don't know. So I'm gonna get rid of this. Or maybe I can just leave it so we can see that that was a point of, is that support? That was a point of resistance. So I can just leave it like that, and also call it, there's a weekly fair value gap, and it's totally balanced, right? And we did get to that the up candle before this decline. Supply and demand, we call it supply, and that's a weekly, oh my God, that's a weekly bearish order block, right? And you can see that price does actually trade to that open price right there beautifully, and only passes it through with a wick. So that's also a good level to, like, look for in the future in case we come up, dramatically. We will. Then I feel like that's a, that's something that you can note if you want to, but that's something I'll worry about when we do get up there. I can still have it anyway. So we can call it a weekly bearish order block, or you're going to call a supply, whatever it is you want to call it. It is up to you, whatever makes sense to you, right? Let's do this, and then we're just going to change that to a W so we can know it's on a weekly time frame. And pretty much that's it for me on the weekly time frame. I'm sure there's other things that you can see, but for now that's it. So if we keep on being dramatic, then we do have this old monthly low right here. And then I believe we can also put this old weekly low right there. So let me just name it as well, old weekly low. so we know what we're dealing with. And if we look here, we do have all this is really, but there's no imbalance to trade to, right? But we have this down candle where the market can come to, but we'll worry about that if we take out these two lows, right? Which should be enough pips, I guess. But that's it. So after this, I guess I think we are content with the weekly and the monthly, right? So at this point, you can, if you want to, you can come here and group all this of what we have done. You can just do this and that, and then just click on this, and then we can call it you have to click 3 times, 1 2 3, until now you can name it, and we can call it weekly, or we can call it higher time frame. I don't know, HTF, and then maybe do like monthly and monthly and the weekly, right? So in case it's too much, I can just toggle that off, and my charts, I have a clean chart, and if I want to see them, then I just do that, and all that information is on my chart. So let's go down to the daily time frame. Remember, when you're doing this, you don't have to get everything right, because when you come a second time, you can look and see, and kind of fill up on the gaps where you missed, right? So let's go to the daily, and what I like to do is I also like to adjust these things again, because I want it to be level to the next day, just like that. And now here, I'm not going to be adjusting these things anymore unless I do it in the morning, because what I'm doing is I'm preparing myself for tomorrow's trading, which tomorrow is on a Friday, right? So this is typically what you should do on a Saturday or on a Sunday morning for the higher time frame, right? And whatever it is you're looking for throughout the week, and then we can adjust this. That's it. So now on a daily on a daily time frame, you can see, what is this right here? Can we adjust that to right there? Yes, we can. And if we go to a weekly, it's still gonna be right there. Okay, so now when we go to a daily, we start seeing a little bit more whatever. Already I can tell you, okay, we do have that gap right there, so I'm gonna include it. What is that going to be? Is that going to be like a fair value gap, which is okay? So when we're coming up, if we ever do it anytime soon, then those are levels that we can look out for. So that's a daily fair value gap, paired with this up candle. So it's paired with that daily order block. Is there a need to put it? If you want to, yeah, but for me, I'm not going to do it. I feel like it's just gonna be too much. But if you want to, you can just do it daily bullish order block, or you can put it as a daily supply, whatever it is you want to name it, whatever it is makes sense to you. And also you can see that there's this imbalance right here, but that is something that I'll worry about by the time we're going up here, because I don't also want to fill my chart with too much information, right? So for now, looking on a daily perspective, we are in this range from this high to this low right here, right? Because we already took the liquidity that's down here, and also this one, right? So where did this one trade to? We already know that it traded to a weekly order block, right? What else is paired with it? So this down candle going all the way down like this, right? Which is, wow. So that weekly order block is also the open of this daily candle right here, where the market went up, we came down, we went up, came down. We see a swing low failure. This swing was not able to take out this low, so it went breaking structure right there, and we just went. So this is from June. We just went up, and it's been bullish all the way up to July 23rd, and August is that yeah, July 27th all the way to August 23rd, and then we started declining. So how far will this thing go, right? Who knows? So what are we seeing here? Already I'm seeing an imbalance right there, which is kind of something I want to note, because this just happened. So that is kind of something I would like to note. Maybe they would like to go and correct that on a shorter time frame, whatever. We want it to extend up to here, because when we go to lower time frames, we're going to see them you know, better. So that's, I'm gonna call it just a daily imbalance. Is that an imbalance or is it a gap? Whatever, it's a daily space. There was no, so there's no, it's not balanced, right? We're only seeing one side delivery, so the market either needs to come trade through it, and again blah blah blah. They tend to come and finish this and fill those spaces. And what do we see? We also see that we left, so all this was a gap, right? Starting from here, and I, of late, this is how I had it, but now I'll just update to where the gap was not yet filled. So if this market had not traded up to here, this is how I'd have it. Now that it's come and was about to fill this gap but did not, this is how I'm gonna have it, like that. That is just, that's how I do it. That's how I do it, and I'm gonna call it a daily imbalance because that imbalance is found on a higher time frame. And if we look closer, we do have something else over here. This is a daily fair value gap. I'm gonna call it a fair value gap. There, it looks like it's a lot, but when you go down to lower time frames, you really appreciate this. Now, this daily fair value gap, right, is paired with an imbalance right here. So that is something that I also want to note. So we do have like an inception something there, one thing inside of another one, and that is gonna act like a strong resistance point, right? Even if it's gonna be so strong to go down, this is an area where you are likely to see the market come and hit some support, or is that resistance? Get some resistance. Wait a minute. Get some support, and if it drives through, then it's going to be an area where it's likely to come and find some support. Wait a minute. Support, we go through, we hit resistance. Yeah. And it's, even if it's going to go down, we're likely to come up and find some support to keep on going down to attack this old monthly low, which is also an old daily low. And was it also an old weekly low? Yep, it's also an old weekly low. So what we do is I'm going to be updating I'm going to be updating this, so it is an old daily, weekly, and a monthly low. That's kind of like how I like to do it, and I think I can just do it like, oh, I don't need that. I can just do DWM and I'll know what I'm talking about: daily, weekly, monthly time frame. So I hope none of that is confusing, and seems this also seems to be the same thing. It sorry, it is a monthly and a weekly low and a daily low. Is it also 4 hour low? Yes, it is. But we can just worry about that when we get there. I don't think we need to do. Actually, I feel like we can just leave it alone now. We don't have to say well daily low, because yeah, it's okay. And old DW blah blah. So let's do it the same for this one. Old. You know, let me make, no, let's just be DWM low, daily, weekly, monthly. That's it. So on our daily, we can do so much, but for me, that's it. Because I can just be worried about, and we do have this fair value gap in here, right? So from this point to that right there, you can denote that. But honestly, if I'm on a trade and I'm going up, once we hit that weekly fair value gap, I'm either going out, I'm taking out 80%, and then I'm seeing how far I can go in to see if I can hit, if we can go inside half of this weekly range right there. So half will be right there, and even half of the half, right? So this is how I do it. If I'm taking a trade from here, we come hit that weekly discount fair value gap low right there. Then I'm taking something out. Then I'm seeing if we're gonna get here. I'm taking something off, and then here I'm also taking something off, right? Because this to me looks like a huge gate that price might need to fight to get through. But who knows? This is US 30. And so this is what I'm worried about, that daily imbalance right there, or it's a fair value gap, whatever. All I know is just a gap. It's an inefficiency that needs to be whatever. Something else we can also note is this is this thing right here, but I think I'm not gonna note it. But that right there can be an inverted imbalance. So that can be also an area of importance, but let's just leave it alone. But this right here, this down candle, I feel like this is a big deal. That last down candle right there, where the market, where we saw this final push, this can offer a decent push to the upside, even if the market intends to keep on going lower, right? Would this be a propulsion order block? It's an order block from an order block, because you can see this is a down candle that shot this market up. Anybody who was short, they came down and took out their short positions and loaded up. If at all that is true, and they loaded up their longs and they participated this, right, cutting their losses, their short losses, and loading up on longs. I don't know if that's true, but that is something I've heard from Mr. ICT. And if I didn't say it the right way, then just assume what it is I said. So I feel like this is gonna be an area of importance when we get there. Especially see how it's paired. See how the daily fair value, the daily, that's a daily order block, daily bullish order block, whoever I wanna call it, demand. Uh, you can call it whatever it is you wanna call it. It's all good. There's an imbalance right there. Do I call it? Do I call it an inverted imbalance? Maybe I should. If I told there's such a thing, I don't know. But what's gonna happen when I see this is I'm gonna know that it was an imbalance caused with a bearish. It's a bearish imbalance, right? That we went through, and the market might come down to it. So there's still another one here. Do I put it? I'm not gonna do it. And actually, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna remove that one, because I feel like if the market comes in here, then it's probably gonna, you know what? I'm going to add that complexity when we get there. Could be tomorrow, who knows? But anyway, that's how it is. So the next thing we do is we're gonna go down to a 4 hour. So that is something that I'm gonna put at the back of my mind, and I'll come check on it. So before we go down to a 4 hour, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna group this, right? Group that 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna just do a D, which is still high time frame, but we can just do daily, right? So now I have them grouped. If I don't want to see that high time frame weekly and the monthly, I can just do that. And now I only have the daily business, right? So we can see I left this, but the reason why all this is not marked is because when we go to a higher time frame, they're pretty much covered right there. So I'm trying to keep it simple. There's a lot more we can mark, right? Like this right here, but it's already balanced. So let's just, kind of keep it a little bit not too much lipstick. Now let's go down to a 4 hour. Let's see if there's anything of importance here. So at this point, what I'm gonna look at is the rest of the range that we haven't covered, and what we have already done. So what is kind of unfinished here on the 4 hour, right? And pretty much I don't see anything. I feel like once once you have the monthly, the weekly, and the daily levels, um the 4 hour time frame going down is something you can customize once you're locked in to your trading session. And you can just do some temporal you can do some temporal levels that when you're done trading for that session, you can just kick them out. For now, I feel like this is okay. As you can see, we came here, but this is kind of what formed that weekly anyway. So this is good. What was this? That was a daily imbalance. Okay, we can see what really happened. Came up, blah blah blah. We shut down, we came up, we didn't really close it, so this is unfinished business. And we do have this 4 hour fair value gap right here. That one I'm gonna mark it. That is important right there. So that is a 4 hour fair value gap. 4 hour fair value gap. It is also paired with this up candle, which is a 4 hour order block, right? But I don't need to mark it because you can see the high of that 4 hour, which is the premium high of this imbalance. It's just right there where that open price is, where we would mark that as the 4 hour order block. So I don't need to put that, right? And what else do we need? Are we still recording? I'm trying to see. So if we come and look at, so this is, I'm gonna look from, see this zone right here. If the market is going to come down, so what is it that we've seen on a 4 hour time frame that can be an issue? Now look what we have here. We have this 4 hour down candle where the market went up, and we have this, this imbalance right here, which is pretty much a 4 hour order block. So is that something to note? Or do we have enough levels already? I don't know. I feel like we can, where I can take that open price and call this, let me just mark it as that 5 hour blah blah, and then just rename to a 4 hour order block. And then do I mark this thing here? Oh, that high, and because we do have that is a gap. No, that's not a gap. That's an imbalance. That's a fair value gap. 4 hour fair value gap. I feel like this is too much already. Did we even touch it? Yes. So I'm gonna bring it up to where all these other brothers are. So I feel like that was not needed. See, because I feel like the daily order block is kind of taking care of that 4 hour fair value gap. So what do we do? I'm just gonna leave it. It's okay. I'll just leave it like that. Furthermore, we can just group it and put it as a 4 hour thing. So what else? I don't think there's anything else of importance to me here on a 4 hour time frame. I'm sure there's a lot of things, but what I have right now is enough to give me an idea of what we can do tomorrow. And then if I come and I see something else new, then I can always add that right there. So, oh, 1 2 3, and we can do like a 4 hour time frame, and that's it. So daily I can close that, and I can close that, and I only have these 4 hour levels with me right now. So now um this is kind of the major higher time frame, and I feel like we can just combine the higher time frame with the higher time frame. We can put the monthly, weekly, and the daily together, but it's okay, they can just remain like that. So for now I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna toggle off the 4 hour and then just let this be, and then let's go to, you know what, let them stay. Let's go to a 1 hour time frame, see what we see of important. Now normally this is kind of where I stop, and I just go straight to the 5 minute time frame. If this is the session that I want to trade, what I'll do is immediately I note uh, the range that is kind of shouting on my face, and in this case we can see that the range we are in is this high and this low, right? So if I can put some lines like right there, so let me do something different, maybe put some, yeah, that color, that range, and this range, right? So in this case we know one thing: we either stay in here, so now we are consolidating, or we are drawing up towards this range. And what we have right there is an old monthly low. So this is a major area. So for example, if I do find a setup and I'm like, you know what, I believe this thing is gonna keep on going up, and I put my stop loss here. So when I get here, then I'm thinking this can provide some sort of resistance. See how we came here and we just went down. So if the market is trading again up here, so this is a place uh, this is a place where, you know, either you want to cut your loss by half or break even, or take something off, right? See if we can come and take that outside liquidity right there. The other option is maybe get to some point here. Maybe, you know, if you believe in resistance, so you believe that, you know, this was resistance and you want to get up here and you immediately sell, which is something I don't think I'd ever do, but it does work anyway. Put your stop loss above that high, and then we go for either this low and also that thing, this low right here. The other thing then I also want to look at again is outside of this range, what other range do we see? We do have that range right there, beautiful, and also this range down here. Now, if we pass this, then we do have some sort of resistance one, and we're also going to have some more resistance here. And then if we go through, then we do have this major thing, which is a daily imbalance. So once we get there again, you want to take some profits off. I'm saying, if I told you in a trade, then you want to see if we're going to pass through it and use it as support to keep on going up. And the next level we'll be looking for is this previous week high right here. And then, you know, on a 5-minute time frame, you want to see what is it that, you know, that might offer some sort of resistance. What I like to look for is those inefficiencies, and I can see there is a small spot right here, so right outside the but. Can I say that? I already know that that's an area where we're gonna see price kind of react to, but if we pass, then another small gap is right here, just small, but if we still pass, then we do come into this previous week low. So that is something good to have in mind. And so let's go to, oh, so whenever I go to, like now on a 5-minute, right? So what I do now, I start working my way up to the one now. So the next thing I'll do is I'll just go to the 15-minute time frame, and I'm kind of looking if, you know, what do we have here? I can see we have this down candle coming from a down candle. So this could be a propulsion order block where the market will come, and then we can have this huge shoot to the upside, especially if it comes and forms a high that doesn't take out these highs, or maybe slightly takes them out and then comes down. That becomes like an area of liquidity for me where we have equal highs, right? And there's gonna be some, you know, stops or whatever. People who are going short are gonna trail their stop losses right there. But then again, if we get here, we do have this low, and then we have this daily imbalance. So that is something again you wanna, you know, you want to look out for. But you know, you're in the moment, whatever it is. If your trading strategy is telling you to go up, you just go up. Because in this case, we are in between this high and this low. So the market will either go up or will either come down. So if for me I was to trade this, I would wait to see which one will be taken out, right? We do have this daily imbalance up here, daily imbalance down here, which both should provide some sort of a bounce back. And I believe from either this bounce or this bounce, I can be able to squeeze in a 1:2. Easy said than done, but sometimes, you know, you just do it and you're like, wow, I did it. Now, as you can see, we do forming a wedge kind of a pattern where, not really, because, yeah, we can draw, if we draw a trend line going up, they will meet. So that means, you know, it's kind of thinning, but not really, because this is a wick. So in the 30-minute, we do have this fair value gap right here, which, you know, which is something that I'll do, but when I'm in that trading period. But in terms of, you know, high time frame analysis, I'm pretty much done. And these 5-minute levels will kind of guide me and work my way up again to the 1 hour. And you can see it's that 5-minute range that I had seen is now a 1 hour range, right? Now it's clearly a 1 hour range where this is the highest high. Well, in near terms, that's the 1 hour high range. So we're in between this high and this low, right? That is where we're trading, and we're kind of in the middle of it. So unless you know what you're really doing, I wouldn't take a trade until we take out this high or we take out this low. Or, you know, if you believe this is beautiful price, because this is discount of this low, so that could have been like a good whatever to the upside. And looking at the 1 hour, we do have like an imbalance here, that would be a nice area to take this, but for me this looks tricky. But we all have different levels to how advanced we are. For me, I would wait for either this high to be taken out or this low to be taken out, and then look for a retracement inside back inside this range. And also if we go up, look for retracement back inside this range. And so if I was to if we were to go up, I'll wait for it to come down, blah blah, do something like this, maybe hit that daily order block, maybe pass with a wick, and then immediately come back in this range, go up, hit some sort of an imbalance, and then my entry is usually at this low and my stop loss at this high that they form, because I like breakouts. That is kind of what I like to see with my trades, right? So if you wait for that thing to whatever for you, uh, sometimes those breakouts are really good, and you even have like up to zero drawdown, right? Kind of something like that. And 1:2 is all you do. What I do is whenever I hit a 1:1, my stop loss goes by half. If I hit 1.5, I break even. uh, and then when I'm just about to take my TP, maybe put my stop loss on the inside, or I just wait to my 1:2 to get hit. So pretty much that was it with my high time frame analysis, right? The most important levels I believe are on this chart. And now we can get rid of those 5 minutes, because we can see those this is just like a 1 hour candle. But that is something you can go into nitty gritty. So that's it with this video, unless it's now 9 9:20 9:20 PST. Is that even London? I have no idea, because I usually trade the New York PM session, which in my time PST I do uh, start preparing from 10:30 PST, which is what in New York is that like 10, 11, 12? Is that 1:30? I like trading the New York PM session, so most of the time I'll just come in on my charts at 11, then start looking for setup at 11:30, 12, or 12:15, going moving forward. I kind of find it more, it works for me during that time. So next time I will share my strategy. Maybe I can give you a glimpse of it. So I like to take my setups on the 1 minute, right, on the 1 minute time frame. And now, as you can see on the 1 minute time frame, those levels are no longer on your face like that, right? So if you go to the daily, it kind of looks like this. It's too much, right? It kind of looks like it's too much. But if you go to a 1 minute, the levels are on your charts, but they're not right there, because now you have this, huge ranges that you can play around with, right? So what do I do? Then I like to divide my ranges into 30-minute ranges. And let me see. Let me go to maybe like yesterday, which was, or is it yesterday or today? 7 p.m., 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So let me do a replay to around 4 p.m. And I have a few indicators that do that for me. So like that, you can see we don't have to show the first ones or even that one. Let's just get rid of that. So let me show you that, like the last ones right there. This is from 10:30 to 1. That's it. And all I'm trading is just those ranges, right? Now, if you look at this, on this day I will not be able to trade, because all I'm looking for is a raid of the previous 30-minute range, right? And then we come back inside of that range, break a high, and then I'm coming in, right? A good example would be this one right here. We traded out, came and broke this low, and then we go in. But this trade did not fit my criteria, because this low has to be within this range. So it's kind of a not really complicated, but I'm very, 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 let's say frugal. I'm careful with the kind of setups I'm taking. In this case, this is, what was this? This is a daily imbalance. So once it came here and I saw this bounce, right? Now, once we broke this, and I think this is more of hindsight, but kind of um, flow with me. Once we broke that low, that high right there, then I'm thinking that's interesting, right? But before I'll be so fast to buy. But what happened is this is what put my stop loss, right? So this will be me before. Oh, we just hit a high time frame. Ooh, a high time frame, point of interest. So market is just gonna go up. Now it rarely does happen like this, although this one did happen like that. Most of the times it doesn't really happen like this. So once we break that low, price kind of likes to come again and take this and even go up to a half of this range, right? So it's typical for it to go to half, at least half of this whatever, and then bounce from there. But in this case, maybe they did have some business to go up, especially if the trade is coming down like this. The first time, if it's just a turn like that, to me, I'm usually very skeptical. I expect that low to be taken and maybe another one, and then we go up, and I kind of can trust that. But if I had a gun on my head and I was like, you have to trade this, then this is how I would trade this. This is what I would do. I would note that high, but then I would expect, you know what, this market will come down and take this low. But then I'm like, okay, we did leave this high right here. We did leave that high right here. So I'll be like, you know what, if we don't take this high, this low, and we take out this high, I'm gonna bet that I can at least get a 1:1. So this is what I would do. This is how I would trade this setup. Though this is not my setup. I'm just saying if I had a gun on my head. And this is also me kind of kind of whatever. Then in a perfect world. Now we have this low, and then we have this fair value gap, right? So I'll put my stop way down here just in case the market wants to come and take this low and maybe find some resistance here, or is a support, right? From that fair value gap right there. And then I go for 1:1. So in this case, I would have won this one. But which is if witches were ostrich, beggars would ride on them. Anyway, that's how I would have traded. So that was a little glimpse of my strategy, but it's really important to have those high time frame points on your chart, and you can just keep it simple like that. So that was it for me. That was Trader Mayora. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please leave a like, comment, or whatever. If you learned something, let me know. And I can be doing this every start of the week. I know today is Thursday, but I wanted to have a fresh perspective because I've not traded this week. I was not feeling well, so I was not really comfortable coming in front of the charts. But tomorrow I should be ready. If I come in here, see something I like, I'm gonna be engaging with that trade like no one's business. So that's really it for me, and I think I can call it a day now. All my levels are there, and we will be smoking this thing tomorrow. Okay, that was it, Trader Mayora, and it's now 10:30 on my time is wait, did I say it was 9:20 or did I say 10:20? Because now it's 10, a little over 10:30, maybe 10:31, 10:32. So it's gonna be good night for me, or whatever it is you're watching from this. Wherever it is. Oh, hey, Jehovah. Okay, bye. I'll see you on the next one. Trader Mayora, and I'm out. And now I have to go look for this screen. Where is it? My bye-bye screen. Where are you? There we go. All right, guys. See you, and thank you for watching. Trader Mayora. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.